Girlfriend, if you are stuck in a sales plateau, you are in the right place. If you've ever asked yourself how to strategize your sales goal, we're going to get to the bottom of that in today's video. We'll see you inside. My name is Ingafay, and I am a confidence coach for female cash coaches, authors, speakers, and home-based business owners with the MIA upline. And we're going to discuss how to determine your sales goal. This is very important when it comes to actually strategizing how to get there. You got to know what the goal is initially. Next, we were going to talk about ways that you can actually generate sales. Have you considered how to do that? That's very important when it comes to your strategy as well. And last but definitely not least, we will then discuss what 2 things you need to achieve your sales goal. Let's do this, shall we? So when it comes down to you determining what your sales goal is, I always like to ask people, well, what do you want? Are you trying to pay off a debt? Are you trying to pay for a vacation in cash and not use bill money? Or maybe you want to get something for your kids. It could be a car or some braces or anything for your kids, and you want to have the extra cash to do that. You got to have a reason for the goal because that is what's going to drive you to fight for it. Well, you say, I'm sure you've heard you got to have that why that makes you cry. Well, you got to have something that is going to drive you when you have those times when you don't feel like doing it. Okay. And we all have those times. But when we remember why we're doing it, it makes us more motivated to keep pushing it and see it through. So I wanted to make that a point to reiterate that point to you to make sure that you really have a vision of what the end result is. What are you working for? Why are you working for it? Because that's what's going to help you through the tough times. Because we all know that it's not going to always be rosy when it comes to our goals. We got to make sure that we have something that we can keep in front of us that's going to keep us motivated during the tough times. So your goal must be measurable. And I like to use the SMART acronym to really define what my goals are. The S stands for specific, so there's no confusion. Now, personally, I know right now I am working to pay for my son's braces in cash. I don't want to do a payment plan. I don't want to put it on some kind of credit. I want to just pay it outright and be done. So that is what's driving me to come up with some creative ways on actually how to do that. I know what the amount is that I'm working for, so it is measurable. I do also know specifically what I want to do. I want to pay for the braces. So you want to make sure that whatever your goal is, that is specific. So there's no confusion on what you're working towards. You want it to also be measurable because you want to be able to keep track of it. So for example, my son's braces is $5,000. So I know that's how much it's going to cost. So as I make money and set that money aside, I can cross out and see how far I am from that $5,000. So I can track my progress. That's why it's so important for it to be measurable. I can come up with different ways on how to do that. And we're going to talk about that later in the video. But it being specific and then measurable is going to help me keep myself accountable to actually reaching that goal and knowing how far I am away to actually making it come to fruition. Another thing that I want to make sure that the goal is attainable. So that's what the A stands for in SMART, is attainable. Am I going to be willing to do whatever I need to do to make this happen? Now, this is very important because I often see, especially people coming in that are just starting their direct sales business, they'll have a goal that they want to make this $5,000 that I'm saying, but are they really willing to do the work that $5,000 is going to require them to do? Are they going to be willing to generate the leads and network and prospect to get the leads that are going to generate that $5,000? Because I can tell you $5,000 is not going to come from your friends and your family. This is above and beyond your friends and your family. You know, most of the time they will support you in the beginning, but for the most part, they are not long-lasting customers. I mean, you have some exceptions, but we all know we don't want to build our business on exceptions. We have to make sure that we're building it on the roll, and we're going to have to constantly be generating new leads. So you want to make sure that you have a goal that you're willing to work for and willing to do the work to get to the goal. And if that's not something that you're willing to do, then that's even more of a reason why you need to kind of step back and reevaluate what you're working for. So before we move on and determining different ways that we can generate cash, I wanted to remind you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We upload a video every Thursday for your viewing pleasure, and we don't want you to miss a beat. So be sure to subscribe by clicking the link below. So now we're going to discuss some different ways on how you can actually generate cash. And this is going to be very important depending on what type of product or service you have. One of the things that you're constantly going to do, and that I kind of said on the tail end of the last segment, is that you're going to have new customers coming in. You want to make sure that you have a new influx of customers. So one, you're not wearing out the customers that you already have with different sales and products and things, and you're further expanding your client base for people that could continue to buy more product for you, in addition to finding new team members. So you always want to be getting leads. You always are going to want to be doing some kind of networking or prospecting and building those relationships with your customers so they can refer you to their friends and family. So making sure that you continuously have new customers come in is definitely a means of getting more sales and expanding and reaching your new sales goal. Another thing is really just taking care of the customers that you already have, making sure that you are being of service to them, making sure that you understand the products and really the desired outcomes that they want, so you can suggest products that will help them get those outcomes. Be able to expose them to different products that they may not be using, that could be completely out of their comfort zone, that they didn't think they wanted or needed, but they found it and absolutely love it as a result of you sharing the product with them and them trying it and falling in love with it. So making sure that you're doing that on a consistent basis and staying in contact with those customers are another means for you to do that. For those of you that have a product or a service that is related to some kind of holiday or could be offered as a birthday gift or anything like that, we got Valentine's Day coming up, we got Mother's Day, Father's Day, people's birthday, and then the holiday season coming back around. How can you be of service to your customers? How can you provide some kind of gift giving service or something of that sort if you have that type of product that will help them, just aid them, be more value of them, to help them have a stress-free gift giving option as a result of your service? Think about those kind of things. Come up with some creative ways to provide value to your customers that in essence will allow you to also generate more income. Is definitely a way for you to increase your sales. And then again, you definitely want it to be attainable. That's the A in the SMART, to make sure it's something that you're willing to do. And then you absolutely want it to be relevant for the people that you serve, something that they would find value in. So make sure that you're doing that as well. And that's what the R in SMART would stand for that. Entrepreneurship is really about creating and being innovative. That's how people excel as an entrepreneur. That's the difference between an entrepreneur and an employee. An employee is somebody that's told what to do. An entrepreneur is somebody that actually figures out what to do. So you're going to have to put on your thinking cap, as they used to say when we were in school, and really come up with some creative ways on how you can better serve the customers that you have and potential customers that you could have in the future. So I'm curious, do you have any kind of creative services that you could do for your clients that would allow you to serve them on an expanded basis, where you could increase your sales and possibly attract more customers? Think about different ways that you can do that and comment below. I would love to know that. Is that something that you had even thought about? Think beyond just your product. Think about how you can truly serve them, and then possibly expand. Your product can just be in addition to a service that you already provide. Okay. So just think about that. I'm really thinking that you would be able to come up with something, because It's amazing what we can do when we really have that why that makes us cry, right? Comment below. We would love to hear from you. So, one of the things that I have found that is definitely important when it comes to reaching a new goal are these two things. This is like if somebody said there was a secret sauce, this would be the secret sauce. And I'm sure you guys are like, well, there's no secret sauce other than doing the work. Yeah, you're right. You're spot on with that. But I've also found that these two things can also affect your outcome as well. And what that secret sauce, well, the two ingredients that I think are essential to success is belief. Do you believe that you can really do this? Do you feel in your heart of hearts that you can get her done? Because if you don't feel like you can get her done, it's you can't get it done. What does it say? If you think you can, you will, and if you think you can't, you won't. That's exactly right. So you have to believe that you can do this. You got to feel in your heart of hearts that you can do it. In addition to that, you also have to have the habit to do it. This is the work, the part that we were talking about, being able to do stuff day in and day out, even when it doesn't work that first time, or even if it doesn't work for a week or even a month or even for 90 days, that you're going to be in it for the long haul, because that's how you're going to make it work. And I wanted to say that because I think so many times that we have a goal, and I know I've personally done this myself, that I've had a goal and for whatever reason it didn't work out in the timing that I had allowed it for it. You got to have that time bond goal, that you have a certain deadline that you're going to get it done. But if for whatever reason that deadline comes and goes, you just reset the deadline. You don't put the goal aside because you didn't accomplish that goal in that time. You just keep doing it until you get it done. And I can tell you, if you stay persistent and do your due diligence, you will figure it out. You will. It's just, you have to keep doing it. I think that's what keeps people from reaching their desired outcome, is that they stop doing what they were doing and then they say it didn't work. But the thing about it didn't work because you quit. It's not going to always happen in our pre-described timing that we think it should be done. That's what it's all about. We have to continue to endure and learn through the journey what we need to do, figure it out, crack the code, and then be able to share it with somebody else so they don't have the learning curve that we did, right? That's what we want to do. I can think about the time where I had earned my second car when I was actually working to achieve that. And my goal was to have it in like January of that year that I was working. I think I didn't get it until that May, but it didn't stop me from not working on it. I can also remember that before I got it, that I took pictures with it inside the car. I could visualize myself and I would have it on my cell phone, so it was always with me. That's what drives that belief. It also is being around people that are big thinkers and are doing big things as well. That's what's going to drive that belief. The habit is going to come from having that accountability partner or even a coach to kind of ask you about, well, how's X, Y, and Z going? How's that going for you, to be able to hold you accountable for that? That's the things that you're going to want to do, whatever your sales goal is, to keep you held accountable to make it happen. Because you can do this, girlfriend. I believe in you, and I know that you can make it happen. It's just, you got to make sure you have that habit, and you got to make sure that you have that belief, that you keep the dream in front of you at all times to bring it to fruition. So if you happen to be one of those people that has that MIA upline, like me, I was that person several years ago. I would love to assist you in you walking out your dreams. And I want to find out if we're a good fit or not. So what I've done is I've put a link to my calendar. So if you would like to connect and potentially talk and see if we're a good fit, I would love to connect with you via a discovery call, find out what your goals are and see how I can help you bring those goals to fruition. So be sure to click the link below for the discovery call. And as always, thanks for watching, and bye for now.